Hey, I've been turned into a cow. Can I go home? Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. Guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about the off-meta and what has been occurring. We had the recent update, of course, the highly contentious one, where CG has essentially nerfed a lot of characters and made Galactic Legends more viable in every way, and some people see it as malicious cash grab, some people see it as CG hating players and doing nothing right ever. I know I had a few comments in my last video about this topic where people were saying like, well, CG has never done anything right. They've never made a good decision, and all I really have to say to that is they really benefit from having a balanced game too. This, whether or not you want to believe that they have never done anything right and that they hate the player base, the fact is they've stayed around for 6 years, which is hugely improbable for a mobile game, and they're looking to continue for a long time. And so whether or not this is actually going to be a good thing for the game, a good balanced thing, they have done things right, and I tend to trust them to some degree. At least they are trying to do that. They benefit from it because people aren't leaving the game. People enjoy the game because of the balance, and whereas this could potentially topple them, I realize I don't know. I think that the death of the off-meta has been greatly exaggerated. So what I'm going to do today, folks, is talk about the three main characters here. Poor Thrawn and Watt are kind of on the periphery. They are no longer useful off-meta counter characters. Well, I'll say they're useful in other ways. Of course they are, but I do think that Watt might be able to be of some assistance at some point because he can force the taunt, etc. But the ones that I really want to focus on today are General Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Jedi Knight Luke. They all have slightly different modding that we're going to be looking at, and then I want to show you guys some clips of some testing. I've done some testing personally of Jedi Knight Luke, being able to take down Supreme Leader Kylo. Only single tank so far. I haven't tried against double tank, but it seems really consistent with Jedi Luke. Of course, we're going to need good modding and everything. This isn't the guide on how to do it, but I will show you guys several examples of it working. So there is that. We're also going to look at General Skywalker. He's going to change everything, and I've seen some promising clips. I haven't tested this at all yet, but he takes down a really impressive team. And then Darth Vader still takes down Darth Revan, even the really well modded Darth Revans. So let's go to the gameplay portion, and I'll show you modding, and then I'll show you some clips and theory. Alright guys, so just a reminder, please, if you are willing, please hit that thumbs up button, the like button. If you want to support the channel for free, you can just hit that like button. It helps get us into that range of being able to get onto the algorithm. It also helps if you make a comment, and if you subscribe. All of those things really help. So if you want to support the channel for free, I would really appreciate that. So now let's start talking about General Skywalker. He is changed in one really important way, a few different ways. So he does less damage. There's no way around it. It makes me sad. We just have to deal with it, right? He's still going to deal some damage, and he has to be Relic 8 because of requirements for Lord Vader. And so let's make the best of it. What we're going to be doing here is making use of the new ability here. So it's not a new ability exactly. It's just rearranged. It's altered a little bit. So you know, we all know how General Skywalker works. When he'll be taking all the damage, he's the tank, etc. His other guys can't really be killed except under some weird circumstances. And when he gets to when he loses all his protection, then he kneels, and then people take turns, and he slowly increases his turn meter. And so he's not going to be exactly doubling how fast he gets up, but you know, it's 10% protection and turn meter at the end of every character's turn. And so if it's an enemy's turn, it's still 10%, but whenever a 501st clone, or 501st character, because Ahsoka's not a clone, whenever they have a turn, then they get he gets 20%, and so he'll be standing up considerably faster. And so what that means is we want to make it really annoying to sit him down, because he's going to stand up again really fast, and he's going to have all that protection regenerated. So instead of being full offense and killing all the Galactic Legends right away, what he's going to be doing is just sitting there and taking hits like a boss. So you can see I have him with offense set, and the secondary mod set is going to be defense, and then you still want him to do some damage. So obviously we have offense set. I think this is going to be more impactful to have an offense set on him than instead of 2 extra defense sets. I just think so. So he's still going to cause some damage, and he's still going to be able to counter at least some portions of the Galactic Legend community, so to speak. I'll show you guys that in a minute, but we want a little bit of offense on him. I like offense instead of crit damage, just because if he doesn't crit, if he's facing someone who has a lot of crit avoid or whatever, we can't afford to put a bunch of crit chance on him because he's so stat hungry. So maybe make it just raw offense so that he can't have that taken away. So if he doesn't crit, he's still doing the same amount of damage, basically. So you want the offense, you want 6E. Obviously this is all new to this character. Only have 2 6Es. He used to have all 6 of them, but you do want it. So you want a ton on these two squares here, or the square and the diamond. You want offense obviously here because it's built in, but then you want a high-ish bonus protection secondary, protection secondary. If you can get defense, look at this defense. This thing doesn't have speed on it. He doesn't need to be that fast. Mine is pretty slow actually, so that's kind of embarrassing. He doesn't even have speed on this one, but that defense and protection percentage secondaries are nice. Similar on the defense triangle, on the triangle that has defense. Potency is nice if you can get it, but that's not the main point. Speed obviously is low, but high secondary protection percentage again. And then the other 4, you may have guessed, are all going to be percent protection primary, and then a mix of speed and percent offense here if you can get it. Some potency is nice, of course. Defense is nice as well. Crit chance, I mean, there's a ton of stats that he likes. Don't really go for speed though. Like just kind of, sorry, speed. I don't care about speed. What I do care about is don't go for health. You just want a ton of protection on him. That's the main thing. So that's how you do General Skywalker for now. Lots of protection. And just as a, here, I'll show you guys the stat. So mine is at 132k, just something to shoot for. I mean, mine will end up being in the upper 130s once I get everything upgraded and everything. Only plus 60 speed. I don't think he needs it that much because of other factors. But next, let's talk about Darth Vader, though. So Darth Vader is going to actually be pretty similar. The main thing here is he's gained more crit chance. So you can kind of drop all crit chance. You're going to be going, instead of trying to take out Rey's, going to be trying to take out Darth Revan and below. And so you don't need as much damage on Culling Blade. Now my buddy Fatal, and I'm going to be linking him and showing you a clip, at least a short clip on him. He takes out the really high-level Darth Revan teams already. He had a really funny interaction, actually, on Reddit, where someone, when he was like, oh, I killed Darth Revan with Vader still, and the guy's like, no, you don't. He's like, oh, okay, like, I guess I'll stop winning then. It's ridiculous, because I've seen his videos, and he's very methodical, good player. Go check him out. But here's the biggest thing, guys. So, while you're in Merciless Massacre, you're getting plus 50% crit chance, and plus crit damage and offense and all of that stuff. And then the Culling Blade also, they added plus 25% crit chance. So he's going to be critting. He's going to be critting almost regardless, and you're going to want some crit chance, but honestly, some incidental crit chance is probably enough. I do have him Relic 8 now, and that's not too bad. So otherwise, I mean, your basics are going to be doing more damage as well. If you wanted to get him more crit chance just because his basics do, well, a ton of damage, like kind of close to how much Culling Blade does, in fact. That's good. Otherwise, you want him to have potency. You want him to, because you need those dots to stick. You want him, I don't know if protection is the best primary, but I mean, I like to have him fast, and you can see his crit chance. That's great. I have an offense set on him. I know that some people do like to have that crit damage piece. I think right now Fatal is using a crit damage triangle, and I have actually asked a few people which triangle we should use here, offense or crit damage. I think it's pretty similar. The math of it is pretty similar. My guess is that a crit damage triangle is going to be better. The only thing is, of course, if you don't crit, if they have crit immunity or something, then that stat is entirely lost, as opposed to if you have offense, you're still going to cause some damage. So otherwise, you want, speed. I have all this crit chance stuff, but offense, just a lot of damage, guys. Lots and lots of damage if you can do it with some potency and call it good. I think that with offense, that is my preference to make him more consistent, but if you want a crit damage triangle instead, I'm pretty sure that's going to be just fine. My Vader is pretty fast. I think that we could probably make him a little bit slower. In fact, a lot of Darth Revan teams are going in the way of being slower so that they can be slower than Darth Vader. And depending on what the perception is, people may end up just speeding him up again just because Vader's not a threat to Darth Revan if they perceive that. But if I keep seeing Fatal do it though. He's consistent about it. He's taking down these Darth Revans. We can too, we just have to have good mods. So the third and final is Jedi Knight Luke, and the biggest change for him, so he does less damage, unfortunately. I mean, every part of him does less damage. I have him at Relic 7, so my testing was actually him at Relic 7 against Relic 8, really fast Supreme Leader Kylo, and I'll show you guys how to be consistent there. But the biggest piece of his change here is in his basic, and so he's doing less damage. He's not ignoring armor or whatever he was doing before, but what he's doing, if they are a tank, then he deals true damage. So it's also deal true damage. So he deals two different forms of damage. It's like Chewie. When he shoots, he does physical damage, and then he also does a % health damage, two different forms of damage. And then if there's an exposed there, he also does a third one. That's kind of beside the point. But this is the same thing. If it's against a tank, a non-Galactic Legend tank, so not against Jedi Master Luke, but against a different tank, he deals true damage, which means he can't crit, but that damage is also something that will ignore their defense. So he kills tanks just really fast. It's really fun. He has extremely huge added utility against tanks. I want to see how he does against Jedi, or against Darth Revan teams with Malak. I think he's just going to chop Malak down. It should be interesting, but that being said, you can go one of two ways, guys. So if you're hunting Supreme Leader Kylo, Kylo's going to have that advantage on him all the time, and that means that you can't crit him, except when you hit with a basic from Luke, it's still going to dispel advantage temporarily. It'll come back, but once you dispel it, then you'll deal damage and you can crit. So he's going to be critting all the time anyways, and I do like having that crit damage just because it's going to, you can leverage that into huge hits against Supreme Leader Kylo. And so my modding hasn't actually changed at all on him. I do think that it makes some sense if you think you're going to be killing a lot of tanks, and maybe once I start testing against double tank Supreme Leader Kylo, I'm going to change my mind. But that true damage relies entirely off of offense stat. It doesn't use crit damage at all. So it would make some logical sense to go down to offense. I do like the way mine is currently situated. He's relatively fast. I know people say like 243, like why do you want him that fast? Do you want him slow so that you can make, if he's the lead, he can drag everyone else down to his speed? And I get that, but I don't really use him as leader usually, not unless it's in 3v3, and even then you still just want him to be fast. It's fine. It can be useful, but it's not that big of a deal. So otherwise, offense, square, and speed, speed all over the place. And offense, you just want a lot of damage, guys. He does less damage, so we need to make sure that he's able to do it when he can, that he's able to take advantage of what opportunities are afforded him. So let's go now, folks, to this video of me. First, we're going to do Jedi Knight Luke video. Then I'll show you General Skywalker one, taking down a full Galactic Legend with just the 501st. It's a very impressive video by someone else, not by myself. And finally, we will be showing a small clip of Darth Revan taking it from Vader. So let's go see the Jedi Knight Luke clip. This will be the longest part, I believe. Alright, so this is the same old team, folks, and let's see. Did I put this in a weird order? That's the question. Because their First Order Stormtrooper is just gone. Let's just restart it. Gosh, okay. Apparently I cut off the very first part, folks. So we tried to kill the Stormtrooper. Let's just watch this guy get taken out and then probably show an actual clip. I don't know. So the strategy here is that we want... Oh gosh, is this me just getting destroyed? Maybe that's what I did. No, I don't remember what I was trying for here. Honestly, I don't know why I cut the first 30 seconds off. It's fun. Old Ben, don't do it. You can't do enough damage. You can't finish him off. Poor choice. Poor decision making by Old Ben, folks. But you can see Luke taking out the rest of the team. Wonderful. Alright, here's the full start of it, guys. So he pokes Darth or Jedi Revan. You hand the turn to Luke so that everyone gets stunned. And then you just send him with Hoda and Basti. You have to have specific, speed mod requirements, whatever, to be able to do this. Because Supreme Leader Kylo, this is a really fast Kylo. Actually, it's a speed build with I think 385 speed, something like that. But you want to take out that tank because then you can just go straight for Kylo, keep him ability block, keep him blinded if you can, and then just take him out and. That's that. Not too bad at all. You can finish off the rest of these guys. It takes a little bit, but once Kylo's gone, the rest of the team's gone. So once again, I'll show you. It's the exact same thing. So you want to hand the turn to Jedi Luke. Come on, Jedi Revan, what you doing? Why are you slowing down, boy? So you can do this. No one's going to counter us because we have the tactical supremacy, or whatever it's called. That blue thing over Revan's head, and then we're going to have Basti and Hoda just call Luke to kill that Stormtrooper. Once we do that, then we want ability block on Supreme Leader Kylo, and we're going to pause for a sec because you can see we didn't actually get ability block from Basti, but we have a built-in redundancy in that Old Ben is fast enough to do ability block as well, to attempt it, just in case, because we don't want Supreme Leader to do his AoE, and so we're going to have two different opportunities to try to get that on him. The second one did actually make it happen. We have the foresight from getting killed the first time on Jedi Revan, and then I think that was a mistake. It wasn't, because he had blind on him from Luke. And so we didn't need to worry about ability block. He could do his AoE and not do damage to us. But this is maybe not the very most refined version of doing this. So, we killed him, but then Jedi Revan just takes it. So one more time, folks, we're going to show you. So Jedi Revan, I should also note this is a high health red, which is the golden standard for competitive play. You want him loaded up with as much health as possible, because you just can't kill him that easily. And Hux has I think he's like 220 tenacity. It's ridiculous, and so we're not going to land that many debuffs on him. Anyways, kill that First Order Stormtrooper, and then get ability block with Basti there. Get ability block on everyone else if possible, and then try to blind Supreme Leader Kylo. And then also, if you fail to blind, maybe you can get ability block as well. He got rid of those things again. We couldn't reapply, and so doesn't matter. We can actually take him out there. And remember, this is a high level Supreme Leader Kylo. Really, really fast. We were able to just chop him down. The rest of this team, not going to be a problem with our fully healthy team. So, First Order Officer, Hux, they're going to pass it around. And honestly, if there's Phasma here, it may end up doing other things. So here's other testing, guys. I did it a lot of times. Just, you can just see me finishing off Kylo over and over again. Tons of times, just for fun. And that's it, folks. So let's go to the General Skywalker one. This is from a guy named, oh gosh, hold on. Before we even start, I want to make sure I give credit. So this is the Raging Elephant, folks. So I'm going to have a link to his website as well. Go give him a sub. And he's just starting out as a content creator, it looks like. But this is a pretty promising counter, it looks like. I mean, so he's got the same build as me. Someone sent me the stats on his General Skywalker, and you can see he's still doing some damage. I think he's got crit damage and crit damage. So he's got a crit damage set and crit damage triangle. So a little bit different, but I think that the same thing holds for him. He's still going to, offense is still going to work. So Rey does her AoE, her whirlwind on Skywalker. He sits down, sit down, young Skywalker, and then everyone gets hit. I'm not convinced that this is the very best build. It seems pretty promising, but obviously we can't tell because General Skywalker is just kind of a really awkward addition to the Rey team. I just don't know what to make of it. And obviously I'm not the one who's playing this, so maybe there's some unoptimized play. I have no idea what was happening, like what was going on behind the scenes here. Keep in mind, we're gonna, with the requirements right now for the current Galactic Legend, we're gonna have to have, for Lord Vader, we're gonna have to have a Relic 8 ARC Trooper, so may as well put some really awesome mods on him while we can, while we have the opportunity. So may as well just knock that out. And so you throw that grenade by Echo at the right time so you can get the big hit on Jedi Training Rey. Once again, they're able to hit everything. Remember, guys, we're gonna have the 501st be doing a lot of the heavy lifting here for the damage. General Skywalker has reverted into a tank that sometimes takes a knee, decides not to actually be part of anything. So she does her big hit, and now General Skywalker here, like I said, it's kind of just an awkward situation with him. This isn't the best comp, but it seems pretty promising, right? I mean, this is, I think it's got some legs. Now, let's move to the final one, folks. This is, I'm just gonna show this for a minute, but what we're doing here, so this is Fatal, and his stream, you can see he's playing on BlueStacks. He likes the little number commands and stuff, but essentially, so he's gotten it to the point where he's in Merciless Massacre with Darth Vader. He's got 4 stacks, and I forget if this is the clip that I showed you guys or if I showed you guys a different one, but I'm not going to show you the entire thing. It's Thrawn lead. He's got 3 Pretons. He eventually learned that that's 2, like he doesn't need that many. He can use Finn instead, but all you have to do is, you have to have him really well modded, and then you can just do his saber toss from Darth Vader. You do 182k damage and call it good. Now, he did have a few other circumstances where his Darth Vader was able to actually win, even if Darth Revan didn't die from his cull. I think that that's going to be pretty unlikely, but I don't know. We may end up seeing the birth of some Darth Revans who have some truly remarkable health pools thanks to Basti, his interaction with Basti. But that being said, folks, I think that the off-meta is far from dead. Here, let's go back to the thumbnails real quick. So, sorry about that intro, guys. So here's the long and the short of it, guys. There are actually a lot of promising comps as well, with Bando, Han, and Chewie being able to take down Jedi Master Luke. There is a Troopers comp that can take down Jedi Master Luke, and Troopers can also take down Supreme Leader Kylo if they don't have to worry about Supreme Leader Kylo and Hux shutting them down turn meter wise. There's a lot of different things that I think are still going to be viable, so don't just close the door on it. Don't just assume that we're done. Maybe CG cracks down again and nerfs everything, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to let this play. So there's hope, guys. It's not dead. Off meta is changed. It's not as active, but it's going to be a lot more rewarding when we can pull things off. So thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Stay tuned for more testing on Jedi Knight Luke. We're going to do a full video on it eventually.